So I just did a video literally yesterday concerning Dungeon Fighter Overkill and how the brand new trailer that Nexon and Neeple just released for the game actually blew my mind. It looked absolutely incredible and I cannot wait to get into that game and to play it. But I also went on to state within that video itself that Nexon had announced various different games. These games in specific are going to be new core games that they are going to be looking to release globally, and games that are going to be part of brand new IPs, franchises that they hope will help them expand into a more diverse, I guess, subgenre of gaming that isn't just necessarily specific to mobile RPGs or PC MMOs. Games like Project BBQ, Dungeon Fighter Overkill, the two other Dungeon Fighter related games, Tales Weaver M, Project HP, Project ER, Project SF2, and Mabinogi Mobile, which are the two games we're actually going to be taking a look at today. Now, I said I would go and cover all of these games, and I definitely plan on doing so, but I don't want to cover like 10, 11 games all in one video. I would rather dedicate a video to a couple different games, specifically games that are of a similar genre. And I already know what you guys are thinking. You hear the name Nexon and you think to yourself, ew, and you go straight ahead and close out of the video. On the other hand, you're thinking to yourself, wait, mobile games? And so if Nexon didn't already deter you, the fact that these are going to at least be mobile compatible probably did. Now, for those of you that have stuck around, I know that you were eagerly anticipating new information concerning Project SF2. Project SF2 is Nexon's answer to Genshin Impact. Now, when I last covered this, I went on to state that we had nothing other than an image released for the game. Now, we have a little bit of information concerning it along with a 55-second teaser. This teaser was uploaded to the Nexon Korea YouTube channel and has 147 likes, 182 dislikes as of recording this video. I honestly have no idea why that is the reception that this trailer received, but we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the trailer nevertheless and see for ourselves. And again, this is going to supposedly be their answer, Nexon's answer to Genshin Impact. And straight away, this reminds me a lot visually of Pyria Chronicles. So my first thought here is, wait, Pyria Chronicles is back? But then Pyria Chronicles was an MMO, and I do not actually think this is. Nevertheless, this looks really, really... like, I feel like this definitely has aesthetic similarities to Mabinogi, like in terms of their unique expressions. And graphically, it genuinely looks really good. And unfortunately, we only had a, I don't know, 55-second trailer for the game. But I do not understand why it received a, I don't know, 60% dislike ratio for that. To me, that looked perfectly fine. Now, this game is going to, much like a lot of RPGs, employ a collection mechanic where you go about collecting monsters, where you go about collecting characters, waifus, husbandos, all of that good stuff. Honestly, I do not think this is going to be capable of competing with the monstrosity that is Genshin Impact. But I feel like there will nevertheless be a place for this anyway. Nexon have expressed that they are definitely interested in potentially launching this on multiple platforms, but specifically what platforms still remains undisclosed. Now, on the other hand, Mabinogi Mobile, which is essentially Mabinogi 2, has been announced. They released a brand new trailer for this on August 4th, 2021. And this is a 2.5-minute trailer, but it starts off with real people, and I had to mute the beginning, and I had to cut it off because I didn't want to get copyright struck, but I went ahead here and I skipped to the trailer for the Mabinogi 2 game, Mabinogi Mobile game itself, because I am a big fan of Mabinogi. I played Mabinogi like a decade ago. I used to play it in the early to mid 2000s, and it was a very fun game. I've come back to it multiple times over the course of the, I don't know, last 5-6 years, and I've always enjoyed my time in it. but I always thought that it definitely needed an overhaul, needed an upgrade. It needed to be brought to a more modern version of the game to appeal to a more a larger demographic of players. And if this is the in-game graphics for Mabinogi Mobile, then that is impressive. I'll be the first to admit that that is in fact impressive to look at. These character models and even the monsters and the graphics and the special abilities, but then we're not seeing a UI. I feel like this might just be a... Wait, I actually just fought this thing in Vindictus literally 10 minutes ago on stream. Man, that is actually crazy. I forgot for a minute that Mabinogi and Vindictus were both connected. But this is a very hyped trailer. I will admit this is a very hyped trailer. But this looks like a trailer. It does not look anything like a full gameplay trailer should look like. So do note that. Now, those were the two trailers released for A, Project SF2, which we really don't even have a title for, and B, Mabinogi 2, aka Mabinogi Mobile. I know that there have technically been gameplay videos released of this over its test phases, and there have been more than one. This game was actually announced multiple years ago, so anticipation for this game has been building for a long time now. Now, again, this is called Mabinogi Mobile, and this is going to be a mobile exclusive title. I know that is not going to necessarily appeal to all of you, but there are plenty of you it will appeal to. And this is probably going to be something that a lot of you try out, a lot of you Mabinogi fans in specific try out, because you're going to want to see how this compares to the PC version of Mabinogi. Now, I'm excited for Project SF2 because it genuinely looks like it could be a really fun game. Aesthetically, it looks beautiful. I am a huge fan of anime games, but it definitely pales in comparison to other anime games like Blue Protocol, like Genshin Impact, maybe even Punishing Gray Raven, maybe the upcoming Tower Fantasy game, the Project BBQ and Dungeon Fighter Overkill games. Like, it definitely doesn't look as good as any of them. And that is fine, it doesn't need to. As long as it looks good and plays good, then that should speak volumes about the game it is. This game, Mabinogi Mobile, on the other hand, it definitely, if we're taking the trailer and using that as a gauge of what the actual gameplay would be like, then I would say that this game looks incredible. I guarantee you it is not gonna look anything like that in game. I would love to be proven wrong, granted, but it is not going to. I am genuinely curious to see the kind of game it ultimately ends up being when this game reaches a point where it will actually receive a full release date, and more so an actual release that we can get into. But until then, these are the two anime games that Nexon are currently working on. Two anime games that they're looking to start a brand new IP. Although admittedly, with Project SF2, the number there added to the SF prefix is just very unusual. Like, that would kind of allude to the fact that it is a sequel of some sort, right?
Someday soon, I'm gonna make it.